Good morning. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Hit that like button if you're watching this on the replay. We'll see you in just about 3 minutes.
Cool.
Welcome back, Fun Fam. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to Follow the Bradleys Fun. This is the Daily Dish with me, your host, Ron E. Bradley. And I hope that wherever you are, you're having a phenomenal day today. Morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, whenever you may be watching. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Speaking of the day, as of the recording of this today is the 20th day of March 2025. Yes, time marches on, and it is March Madness and all of that stuff. So, wow. Let's see how. Yeah, okay, I can hear myself good. We have sound. We have sound. We should be good to go. Good to go. Right. Okay. Right. How's everybody doing out there in the chat this morning? I see everybody coming in. I am waking up. I got up a little bit earlier this morning, so I'm pretty happy about that. I'm more caffeinated. I'm a little bit more awake, but I'm here. I'm here because of all of you. Undertaker Lover 1306. There is a brand new person to the channel. I haven't seen you on here before, but thanks for chiming in the chat. We appreciate that. Undertaker Lover 1306. That must have some sort of significance. But that's pretty cool. Tom is here. I'll say hi to everybody in just a few moments. But first, I have to say thank you to everybody who is coming in this morning. You guys know that you're the reason that I wake up. You're the reason that I get out of bed. You are the energon to my Autobot. You're the energon that makes this guy transform and roll out of bed in the morning.
A toast, Autobots. Boy, these are good. I needed to refuel. Energy! This stuff's the greatest!
Undertaker. Yes, this is so true. Is Snow White? How about no? Zip it. Zip no. Is that Rachel? No, Rachel. No. Zip it. Zip it. Zip. No. No. How about no? Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil. How much do you think that this movie is going to make? 10 billion. No, probably more like less than, like, it'll probably lose money. Dr. Evil, how much money is Rachel Zegler's Snow White going to lose? $1 billion. Okay, those aren't great impersonation. I'm sorry, but I did that for Undertaker Lover because I thought that was funny. Your comments, your $10, $10. Your comments are funny to me. I appreciate you coming in. Appreciate you chiming in this morning. We're definitely going to be discussing Snow Flop this morning. It's truly sad. It's truly remarkable. I can't believe Disney did this with that movie in particular. That movie, the Snow White, the original Snow White, the classic, the movie that made the company what it is today was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the Walt Disney animated classic film. And we will definitely be talking about the ruination of that, because it seems like the creatives at Disney today just hate Walt and hate everything he stood for. And what he stood for was timeless values that don't go away because a small portion of your audience's ideology has changed or whatever the heck they think that they're doing. Anyhow, let's say hi to everybody that is out there in the chat. Fairbrick Studio is early in the door this morning at 7:30, which was literally right after I created the stream. So I appreciate that, Fairbricks. It's funny because today my thumbnail came really, really late. I created the stream at 7:30. I didn't have the thumbnail till 10 minutes before the show. So it is what it is. My mom is here. Kathleen Fantasy's in the door. Hi, Mom. Snorted Poopus Q Burr has come in and says, hello, humans and other quitters. Snorted Poopus saying hi to people. Equus Heart is here and says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Equus Heart. Good to see you so early in the chat, too. Dan's Live at the Kingdom also early in the door at 9:21 this morning. Dan's Live at the Kingdom says, good morning, everyone. And Jeremy Heath pops in at 9:35. Hello. Dude, man, Cuz is here with his hitchhiking ghost. And Tom F says, good morning, all, or good morning, America. I don't know. Maybe that's maybe Tom F is watching Good Morning America on his regular television channel. I don't know. Dan's Live at the Kingdom says, the bots are going to have a blast praising the snow trash. We'll get to it, but surprisingly, there's not a lot of praise so far. Weird. So true. Undertaker Lover. That's the brand. I haven't, first time I've seen you in the chat, but please make yourself a regular. All our welcome here. What does Disney say? To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Yes. So thank you so much for being here. The Bud Files have also popped in and say they say good morning, people. Hi, Burr. Just saw you live about Snow White and had to egg on it. Well, come on in and egg away. My last two videos, and probably some more, are going to be about Snow White and Rachel and weird, and where are her parents? And my take on it is going to be blame Steven Spielberg. Surprisingly, it's his fault. All of this is his fault. It really is. It really is. Equishart says Snow Oak is an abomination. It is Snow White. It is Snow White, not Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Yes. Sadly, we are missing our. Actually, it's really weird because this Snow White, they ended up doubling down on the whole dwarf thing. Now they actually have 14. It's Snow White, 6 bandits, 1 dwarf, and 7 CGI monstrosities. That is from I haven't seen the movie. I'm just telling you what I've heard about it. People who defend the film are nothing but bots and sheep. Aloha, and good morning, y'all. So set my alarm clock early. Oh yes. Speaking of the earnings call, this is a good one. So we have Disney's earnings call today. This stream is going to not stream in the Culture Casino today as we normally would the 6-Minute Daily, because that doesn't happen today. This stream is streaming. You should be directed right over to WDW Pro and the Pro Show, which I don't think I'll be on today because I don't really have anything to do with financials. But we've got this stream. Stay here and you'll go right over to the Pro Show, and then stay there and you'll go right over to Valiant Renegade, and we should be good. All right, so there you are. Going Shogi's here. He says, "Good morning to the Go and the Shogi." Wait, what's this comment? Maybe she doesn't have parents. Maybe she's a machine sent back through time to destroy Disney. I've been wondering about that because there has never been a mention. This girl was 18, 19, or 20. I can't remember when she was cast, but that's pretty darn young. To me, that's still I'm old enough now where that's a kid. I have children much older than that. I have kids in their 30s. Well, stepkids anyway, former stepkids, whatever you call them. I don't know. It's a little weird situation. But anyway, my oldest biological son is going to turn 23 this year. It's crazy. So it's a little strange, Tom says, when are you going to see Snow Woke? I have no plans on watching this in a theater, Tom. None whatsoever. So I am going to do what I have encouraged all of my audience to do. You guys out there that I appreciate so much. I encourage you to, if you have access to it, if you do have Disney Plus, watch the original Snow White. Send Disney a message that you don't want trash Snow Woke. Yeah. No wonder Walt tried to burn this movie remake to the ground. That was the first sign. I know, right? Yeah, it would. It's just, yeah, it's bad. You know what's not bad? You guys are not bad. You guys are great. You guys, I have the greatest audience on YouTube, and I appreciate every single one of you for being here early in the morning. That's why you guys are the greatest, because you're not just popping into a show at noon. Anybody can pop into a show at noon. You guys pop into a show as early on the West Coast as what is this out there? 6:30 in the morning. You West Coasters are watching at 6:30 in the morning, and I know we have some afternoon people watching from Great Britain across the pond, Fairbrick Studio and Juliet and Pam, and you guys are maybe I don't know what time it is, 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon over. I don't know, but anyway, but most people can't pop in this early to a show, and I appreciate every single one of you for being here, and that's why I celebrate you. So I always do a celebration just for you being here at the beginning of the show, and then throughout the show, if there's any support from you guys, that is, let's say I've got this goal of 5 super chats. All right. So we hit the super chats and we hit that goal. By the way, there's 99 cents and up counts. As long as you do it as a super chat, it counts toward the goal. So it can be very, very little. But 99 cents and up on the goal for the super chat. 5 super chats, and I released free VIP memberships to thatparkplace.com. And if we get to, we also need to get, I think, let me check here. It changes on a daily basis how many members we would need to get to up to that 75 point. So I'm showing 64 members right now. That would mean that we probably, unfortunately, need about 20 people to become members today to make sure that we have that cushion. Because we have to get to 75, we have to get past 75, we have to have a little bit of cushion, because every 30 days, somebody's falling off. So if anybody wants to be generous enough to give those memberships, we take that too. So anytime there is a super chat, super thing, super sticker, membership, gifted memberships, membership milestone chat, anytime there's a PayPal, buy me a coffee, or anybody buys something from the spread shop and lets me know in the chat, because you got to let me know. Like this Make Disney Walt Again hat you can get from the spread shop. Any of that, we are going to throw down a celebration, because I love to celebrate you.
Is it too much? Too much? It's your birthday!
Oh, this is just the best of us. I tell you what, these time change things, I totally understand this one going, Shogi. I totally understand. Of course, it's earlier for you, but I'm having a hard time with it too. Happy first day of spring. Is today or tomorrow the first official day of spring? If it's the first day of spring, it's really sad that we have snow. We have snow on the first day of spring. No wonder nobody likes it. It's snow on the first day of spring, and nobody wants to see snow on the first day of spring. Yes, indeed. The snow, she is fallen. That is true. So thank you, everybody, for coming in. Like this video if you're on the way in. If you're just coming here, if you haven't liked it yet, please do click that like button, as that is one of the things that does help out this channel so much. And I'm going to be doing more, as much as I possibly can, of putting up daily news commentary videos. We call those the Fedora Finds, and if you haven't seen one yet on the channel, please check it out. There are plenty of the Fedora Finds. There's actually a whole playlist of Fedora Finds now videos. Good morning, Jesus. Good to see you coming in the show. The Cuban Superman is here. Excuse me. But we've got Fedora Finds. Those are what I'm calling my commentary videos, because we started out primarily as a family vlogging and park live streaming channel, and those kinds of things are fun. But what happened was WDW Pro invited me to the Beyond the Pro show, and I become kind of a regular on that show, and I've loved it, every single minute of it. And I love doing these kind of news commentary stories so much that I'm like, you know what, I want to do more of that on my channel, and you guys seem to like it. So I'm like, I will give my audience what you guys like, what you guys love, what you guys want. So a lot more news commentary is coming on the channel, as far as news commentary videos. I'm working on a procedure where I can edit those and get those out much more frequently. The goal is to get to the point where I'm absolutely doing one a day. And eventually I would like to be able to get myself up to 2 a day. And if we can streamline that process, I can probably go as many as 3 a day on this channel by myself. This is before I get any help. Hopefully we grow the channel too. And as this channel grows, I might be able to start making some money. Making money would be really, really good. And if this channel actually turns a profit, if you will, which is not like we make money, but we don't we don't profit on this channel. We're not really making any money. But when we do, we will be able to pay people to help us out and get more videos out. And that is something we eventually definitely want to be able to do on this channel. So thank you all, because you guys make all of that juice possible. Speaking of that juice and the possibilities of it all, let me share my screen so I can show you one thing that I haven't shown you yet today. And that is, of course, our spread shop. That is where you can buy Follow the Bradley's Fun merchandise, t-shirts, mugs, bags, hats, glasses. No, not glasses. I don't think I have glasses on there, but all of these kind of fun things, including the Fedora Finds merchandise and the Make Disney Walt Again, right? And this is the hat that I'm wearing right now. It's only $21. I think it went down in price. And we have free standard shipping right now. So right now, free standard shipping on a hat that's only $21. That is a good deal, folks. Get it while you can. I would highly recommend doing that and wearing around the Disney park. See what people say to you when you're wearing a Make Disney Walt Again hat. Will people come up to you and think that it says something else? That's the question. And of course, it doesn't actually technically say Disney. We know that we read it that way, but technically it doesn't say that, because I don't want to break any rules. I'm a rule keeper. I am a rule keeper. Thank you, Go and Shogi, for sharing that out. I appreciate that. Let me see here. We wanted to start getting to stories. And it is, let me see. There's a lot of stories I'd like to be able to do today, and one of them I'm gonna have to get to tomorrow. But it's a story about how the lights went out at SeaWorld and Aquatica and Discovery Cove. I had to think of what the name of that was. They lost power the other day for a few hours, and that was sort of an oddity. It was kind of the whole area. I'm assuming a transformer got blown in that area. But we are going to put our first story on, and this is actually out of the VIP section of that parkplace.com. All right, so you got to be a VIP premium member to now. Again, you can become a VIP member for free. It doesn't cost you $5 a month. It's for free if we get 5 supers today. So Lilo and Stitch trailer shatters records while Snow White sinks fans rewarded with a faithful adaptation. Now, this is an interesting story for me because I was never a huge Lilo and Stitch fan, but when I saw the live action trailer, I actually think this is one of those very few movies where it actually, I think, is going to translate well to live action. Very few movies, I don't think they translate well to live action from animation. Beauty and the Beast was horrible. I hated that one. But Lilo and Stitch, different story here. Lilo and Stitch trailer shadows records while Snow White sinks fans rewarded with faithful adaptation. Mr. Montanaro out of that Park Place on the 17th of March. It's only been a few days since Disney dropped the first full trailer for its upcoming Lilo and Stitch live-action remake, and the numbers are already speaking volumes about both this film and Disney's Snow White, which comes out today. According to Disney's own reports, the trailer racked up an impressive 158 million views in just 24 hours, making it the second biggest trailer debut for Disney's live-action remake line. That's, by the way, that's views on YouTube, because there are other ways to view it. The only trailer to surpass it, 2019's The Lion King teaser, which hit 224 million views. Not bad company to be in. But beyond just raw views, Lilo and Stitch also dominated social media platforms. It claimed the #1 trending spot on X, YouTube, and even China's Douyin platform. Disney credits part of the hype to Stitch's appearance during the Super Bowl, where a brief teaser reportedly pulled in 173.1 million views within 24 hours, marking it as Disney's most viewed digital spot ever. What's most telling, however, isn't just the number of eyes on the trailer, but the overwhelming positive reception it's receiving on YouTube. The trailer currently sits at 159,000 likes to just 20,000 dislikes. I'm sure that's changed since the story was written. That's an overwhelmingly favorable ratio and a stark contrast to the reception of another live-action remake Disney has in the pipeline, Snow White. That film's trailer, plagued by controversy and star Rachel Zegler's dismissive comments, holds a miserable 56,000 likes to a staggering 1.6 million dislikes. The difference is obvious. When you respect the source material and deliver a faithful adaptation, audiences notice. Oh, look at a little cutie stitching a Lilo, getting on the nose. Oh, it's so sweet. Lilo and Stitch doesn't seem to be rewriting its characters or shoehorning modern messaging at the expense of the original. Fans were quick to praise how accurately Stitch, the Grand Councilwoman, and the Hawaiian setting are brought to life. Both Maya and Kealoha as Lilo and Sydney, both Maya Kealoha as Lilo and Sydney Agodong as Nani have been mostly positively received, with even initial online outrage over Nani's casting quickly drowned out by the quality of the trailer itself. Apparently, earlier on, people were saying that she wasn't quite dark enough. People. She's an actual Hawaiian, by the way. Compare this to Snow White, where Disney opted to rewrite the story entirely, removing the classic themes of true love and replacing them with modern, independent woman messaging. Rachel Zegler's public comments mocking the original film and dismissing Prince Charming didn't help either. The result, a near universal backlash that has left Disney scrambling to save face. Meanwhile, Lilo and Stitch proves that accuracy and authenticity still win. Audiences want to see the stories they love treated with respect, not deconstructed for political points. The positive metrics surrounding the trailer reflect that. That said, fans are still waiting for a look at Professor Jumba, Captain Gantu, who have yet to make an appearance in official footage. But if the rest of the film maintains the same faithful energy as the trailer, this could be the rare Disney remake that actually delivers. It's a refreshing change, and Disney should be taking notes. Stick to what made your classics beloved, and the audience will show up. Rewrite them beyond recognition? Well, just ask Snow White how that's going. Oh my goodness gracious. I would say Snow White is probably saying that's not going so well so far. Oh my goodness, we got more people coming in here. Undertaker Lovers 1306 says, what happened to creativity? Original stories. They don't have any more. It's AI is going to have to write the originals now. They should keep a bunch of electric eels for things like that. Yeah, I could not believe that either. Stitch is cute. People are mad that the skin isn't dark enough. It's so funny. So ridiculous. Howdy, Snort. Sam Spurgeon is here. I appreciate these new people coming in. Guys, I got to celebrate that. We got new people coming in the chat that I haven't seen. This is awesome, and I appreciate it because we want to grow the show as much as possible, especially since every day, if you start your day here, by the way, with the Daily Dish at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, you're going to stream right into Culture Casino's 6-Minute Daily at 10:40 is usually when he starts. On Tuesdays, that will stream right into Morning Magic with That Park Place, right into WDW Pro, the Pro Show at noon. and then that will go right into T3PO. So you stick with us. You start here, start your day here, stick with us, and we'll keep you happy with these fun way to approach stories that aren't always so fun. That's what we do. We do all the news that should be fun. That's what the That Park Place Network is all about. Speaking of fun, this is fun right here. Go and Shogi has gifted 5 Follow the Bradley's Fun memberships. We've got Jiminy Dave, welcome. William Kennedy, welcome. Then DY Disney, what is it? Then the Disney, welcome. Bessie Yay, welcome. And Chris's Creation Fun, all gifted memberships to the channel, something that deserves a celebration. So if you've got your member emojis ready, let's celebrate. Woo-hoo! Yay! OCDD93 is here. We've got Andy W chiming in, and Alyssa 1225. There we go. Boom. Love to see you guys here. And then Elizabeth, this says Edlifson. I don't know. Did I pronounce that correctly? Did I completely botch it, Elizabeth, or did I get that right? Elizabeth Edlifson. You let me know in the chat. I really try to get your names correct. And it goes all the way back to when I used to work the phones for MCI, my first phone job. I don't know if you guys remember MCI, Microwave Communications Incorporated. Before Sprint bought them out, it was MCI, and I used to work for them. And I was very, very big on trying to get the last names right. Edlifson is right. Wow, you got it right. Good. Yeah, I kind of pride myself on name pronunciation. I'm almost awake. I'm all eating. It's okay. You're here, and that's all that matters. Let's get to the main stories of the day. And that is of course, our Snow White stories. Like them or not, we got to cover them. And by the way, I am still encouraging everybody, go on out there. And by the way, if you can help everybody out with the goal, if you can help out with the goal, you're helping everybody out, because I want to give it back to you. What we get in the goal, I'm giving away for free in VIP memberships to thatparkplace.com. So if we hit the goal, it's 99 cents only, by the way, for a super chat, or you can do like, 1 or 2 or 5 or $10, whatever you want to do. Doesn't really matter. But if we hit the goal of 5 supers today, we're giving away free That Park Place VIP membership. So you can read some of these VIP articles over there on thatparkplace.com. And if not, that's okay too. Because I always tell people this too. If you can't afford to do supers or gifties or anything like that, please don't. Please do not. Please do not spend any money that you cannot afford to spend, because that is not a good thing to do. So before we get started with this story, that Service Dog says Snow White or Star Wars, maybe it's Star Wars, but it's probably Snow White, is proof that only bad fan fiction writers tend to be elevated to stardom, while great ones remain in obscurity, much like how 50 Shades started as bad Twilight fan fiction. Shaking my head. Yes, that is true. 50 Shades of Grey is bad Twilight fan fiction and kind of gross Twilight fan fiction. If you know anything about the person that wrote Twilight, you would know what I'm talking about by that. But although I don't understand why that person was writing about vampires either, I've always thought that was a little strange too. Anyway, on with our stories. This is out of thatparkplace.com. Rachel Zegler's Snow White movie story spoiled by the British Board of Film Classifications. trigger warnings. Oh, they've got trigger warnings. This is by WDW Pro. I think we all know that name. And there she is, Snow White in all of her glory with her 7 CGI monstrosities, nightmare-fueled dwarves. Trigger warnings have increasingly become commonplace, often serving as tools to help audiences avoid distressing or unsettling content. You know, it's really weird. I'm just going to stop right there because I have to say, like, when I was brought up with, and this is so important, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. You cannot hurt me with words. I don't care. Like, if kids would just be taught to not care about negative stuff coming at them, and they grew up with that, like I did, like I think a lot of us in my generation X did, we wouldn't get so offended so easily. It's so ridiculous. People getting offended easily. It's like, why? Why are you getting so? Why? That bothers me. It just bothers me so much. I get offended by people advocating for a life of action, those actions which are hurtful to themselves, to their loved ones, and to society. That's what I get offended by. People advocating for a lifestyle of actions that we know hurt other people, period. And there's unfortunately way too much advocation for that type of action and lifestyle. Just anything that hurts people, I don't like. And things that do hurt a lot of people have been downplayed. That hurt level has been downplayed a lot. It's unfortunate. Totally different subject, though. Sorry about that. All right, so some view these as necessary, but the current political climate might be such that we could safely assume the majority of people are over being told what might trigger them in a movie. Grow up and go watch Schindler's List, they could say. However, in the case of Disney's recent adaptation of Snow White, the warnings provided to viewers have arguably crossed from helpful caution for the mentally fragile and into outright spoilers, detracting from the viewing experience by revealing critical plot points ahead of time. And before you say Snow White has been around since the 1930s, everyone knows what happens. Just remember that Rachel Zegler, star of Snow White, told us all that this was a modern retelling. In other words, this isn't actually Snow White at all. It's something else. Disney's latest quote-unquote reimagining, by the way, I hate the word reimagine because you can't. It's not physically possible. When you imagine something that's brand new, it's not is the 1937 classic Snow White starring Rachel Zegler. Disney's latest reimagining is the 1937 classic Snow White starring Rachel Zegler in the titular role, and has already garnered controversy for various reasons, almost all of them Zegler. However, an unexpected source of contention is now emerging. The film's overly detailed warnings from the British Board of Film Classification, the BBFC. Among the listed cautions, viewers are explicitly warned about ominous trees, a character threatening to shove something up another's backside, and a woman being deliberately poisoned. Oh my gosh. Such descriptions, ostensibly meant to protect sensitive viewers, instead strip away narrative suspense, diminishing the emotional and storytelling impact intended by filmmakers. What should be tense, surprising, or impactful moments now become anticipated scenes, significantly diluting their dramatic effect. Film storytelling thrives on unnecessary uncertainty and surprise. Audiences find joy and engagement precisely because they don't know exactly what will happen next. The journey through a story's plot is fundamentally tied to the experience of discovery. By contrast, explicitly describing plot elements like poisoning or threats between characters in advance removes this vital component, effectively undermining the narrative's purpose. Clown World out of X posted, these clowns slap trigger warnings on Snow White for poison apples and scary trees. How do they survive in real life? Disney's woke Snow White is slapped with trigger warnings about a woman deliberately poisoned, girls surrounded by ominous trees. Of course, we know that happens in the film. Gosh, so annoying. Consider the poisoning warning. Snow White's deliberate poisoning is central to the original narrative and presumably also a key in the adaptation. We don't know. I haven't seen it yet. Knowing this in advance converts a dramatic climax into a mundane inevitability. Instead of a shocking or emotional resonant scene, viewers are primed for this moment, robbing them of the genuine reactions and the suspenseful atmosphere the filmmakers carefully craft. Although, to be honest, and to be fair, I don't think filmmakers carefully crafted anything in the new Snow White. Whatever. Guesses about how Disney might handle this aspect of the story are completely out the window. If you already know it's going to just do what the original did, go figure, eh? Additionally, the bizarre inclusion of ominous trees further exemplifies how overly specific warnings verge into needless narrative spoilers. Atmosphere creation is a critical cinematic element, and the presence of ominous imagery such as unsettling trees is a classic storytelling device meant to evoke feelings organically. Alerting viewers beforehand unnecessarily preempts natural emotional reactions, dulling the intended effect. In other words, the movie becomes less enjoyable to watch. This trend toward detailed warnings can also set a precedent that impacts future film experiences negatively. If every unsettling or mildly contentious scene necessitates explicit advance disclosure, films may find themselves constrained creatively. Directors and screenwriters may hesitate to incorporate innovative storytelling devices or intense dramatic scenes for fear that they will lose their impact when described as mere cautionary bullet points. Good luck with that when even the foliage can be ominous and triggering. Of course, the original intent beyond content warnings is commendable, offering sensitivity toward diverse audience needs and avoiding undue emotional harm. You wouldn't want a war veteran walking into a movie that features an unexpected scene that could cause an immediate and severe flashback. Yet, there must be a balance between viewer protection and artistic integrity. Generalized warnings such as intense scenes or moments of peril sufficiently inform viewers without directly spoiling the story. Detailed descriptions, however, that's overreach, infringing on the delicate craft of storytelling. Once again, something that could have been net positive if used in extreme moderation has been taken into a metastasized, malignant place of tremendous overreach. It's empathy run amok to the point it's mucking up even being able to go see a movie. Nanny state, thy name is Britain. Ultimately, the audience experience hinges on the preservation of suspense, surprise, and genuine emotional response. Disney's Snow White adaptation exemplifies precisely how overly explicit warnings threaten to unravel these elements, transforming anticipation into mere predictability. Going forward, it would be wiser for content regulators and filmmakers alike to reconsider the level of detail provided in trigger warnings, prioritizing preserving the integrity and excitement of storytelling itself. It's why would you go that far? That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Ominous trees. Glad the tree from Evil Dead is getting work these days. That's funny, Sam. Undertaker lover. My brother says he's going to buy me a ticket to Snow White. I'd rather eat the poison apple. Oh, my goodness gracious. That's funny. Imagine putting trigger warnings on the film when the original fairy tale was way worse than Red Hot Shoes. Unbelievable stuff. Reimagine just means fan fiction. Yeah, you're right. That service dog. I hate the term. I hate the term reimagine because you can't do it. That's not the way imagination works. The word imagination implies newly created. So, yeah. Is anybody else drinking your coffee? I got to get caffeinated here. I got to work out. I got to work out today. I got to get back into it. Slept off a bit, and I got to get back. That is a strange cup. Literally, it's my Dr. Strange cup. Okay, let's get on to that last story of the day. We got time for one more before we quickly get you over to WDW Pro to prep you for the earnings call today. I thought they were the trees from Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat! You know, I like the first, I don't like the new Mortal Kombat movies, but I actually really liked the the first cheesy Mortal Kombat movies. They're fun to rewatch. They're very 1990s-esque. This one is, let's see. All right, so now the question is, here's the deal. The new Snow White movie, the remake of the 1937 Walt Disney animated classic Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, that remake comes out today, starring, of course, in the titular role of Snow White, Rachel Zegler. She hasn't caused any controversy at all, has she? Oh, no, well, maybe a little bit. But regardless of that, you can cause controversy and still be a good actress, good singer, good actor, whatever, and create a good product. So the real question is, has Disney created a good product with this brand new reimagining, their word, not mine, because I hate it, of Snow White? Well, let's see. Now that the review embargo finally dropped yesterday at 3 p.m., let's see how the reviews for this movie are going. And to do that, we are going to check out a story out of thatparkplace.com. Snow White bombs. Oh, really? Snow White bombs on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics rip apart Disney's latest remake starring Rachel Zegler despite early hype. I cannot believe that. Are we trying to say that when the reviewers doing the reviewing are honest, that this maybe isn't that great of a movie? I can't believe that. Let's see what Mr. Marvin Montanaro out of thatparkplace.com has to say, written on the 19th, that was late last night, of March 2025. Snow White bombs on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics rip apart Disney's latest remake starring Rachel Zegler despite early hype. There she is in all of her Lady Prince Farquaad haircut glory. Rachel Zegler. How can you beat that woman? The Snow White Shill Brigade isn't going to like this. let me reread that from the start because my voice wasn't where it needed to be. The Snow White Shill Brigade isn't going to like this. Disney's Rachel Zegler-led Snow White remake splatted on Rotten Tomatoes today, and the results were far less flattering than the glowing social media reviews of just a few days ago. The embargo has lifted and the truth is finally out. Disney's live-action Snow White has officially earned a rotten rating on Rotten Tomatoes, clocking in at a dismal 49%. And you know what? Let's just see if I can go check right now on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm going to bring it up on my screen. I don't know where it's at. I'm typing it in as I'm talking. I'm typing in. Let's see. It did the wrong. This new AI browser stuff is giving me trouble here. So I'm going to type it in. As you're watching this, I'm typing it in. Let's see if we can get an accurate, up-to-date reflection of what Snow White is going to look like. Let's see where it is currently on Rotten Tomatoes. Literally updating in front of your very eyes, as you can see that right there. Yes, indeed, there it is. Rotten Tomatoes, Disney's Snow White. Let's scroll down and get the current score, shall we? It currently sits at, I don't know if you can see it. There you go. As I scroll up there in the upper right-hand corner, with 101 actual reviews from actual critics, 47%. That is a splat. Yes, folks, that is a SPLAT. All right, so let's go back to the story, shall we? All right, getting back to the story on that parkplace.com. Let's see here. So clocking in a dismal 49%, we now know it's currently 47% as of the morning of March 20th, 2025 at approximately 10:25 a.m. It's a brutal wake-up call, especially when contrasted with the studio's carefully controlled early social media reactions that bizarrely labeled the film a triumphant return to form for Disney and called Rachel Zegler a supernova. I'm not going to disagree with the fact that they called her a supernova. I mean, supernovas are, aren't supernovas like an amazing, beautiful star just like exploding into oblivion? Maybe that's an accurate description. Maybe she explodes things into oblivion. This sharp drop in critical reception highlights exactly why Disney delayed lifting the review embargo until just 24 hours before release, which I covered here on the channel. Check out my last video. The studio knew the real reviews would paint a far less flattering picture than the hand-picked influencers and Disney-friendly outlets who showered the film with premature praise. The critics speak no magic here. Here is just a sampling of what critics on Rotten Tomatoes had to say about Snow White. Picking the apple. Odie Henderson from the Boston Globe said, scrolling back up to that, I had high hopes that Snow White would make me happy. Instead, this dopey remake made me sleepy and grumpy. Dark Sky Lady Nerdist says, with an uneven combination of forgettable music, bland choreography, and a few genuine laughs, Snow White fails to find and maintain its footing. Jonathan Itkonen, Toisto.net. This is a film that tries very hard to not take risks or even acknowledge that risks exist. This result is a hodgepodge of awful CGI, contrived new songs, and a story full of plot. Story full of plot and lacking in substance. Okay, and then Abe Fried Tanzer. Boy, these names are hard. From Awards Buzz. This reimagining of a story everyone knows lacks imagination, essentially translating a solid text with the least possible creativity and depth. Oh, that's bad. Even positive reviews are barely positive. Perhaps more telling is how lukewarm even the positive reviews are. The majority of them boil down to, well, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Here are some of the fresh rated positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes for Snow White. Bob Shipman, Movie Bob Central, says a slight but agreeable adaptation that in its best moments offers similar charms to a well-mounted theme park parade, or maybe Disney on Ice. Wow, that doesn't sound great. Tanya Lamb, Lola Lambchop says, good enough for kids. Travis Hobson, Punch Drunk Critic says, it's not quite the fairest of them all, but hardly a poisonous apple either. Like, how good of a, that's not great. It isn't great. It isn't terrible. It's just fair. Those are positive reviews. My gosh, with friends like these, who needs enemies? That's funny. These so-called, there we go. Sorry. These so-called positive takes hardly sound like ringing endorsements. Instead, they read more like faint praise. The kind you'd expect when critics are trying to find something nice to say about an underwhelming product. The equivalent of going to see your friend in a horrible stage play and telling them that was something. The hype versus reality gap. The Snow White Rotten Tomatoes reviews are certainly a far cry from the over-the-top praise shouted by early social media reviewers who gushed about Zegler's performance and positioned the film as a triumphant return to form. Now that the embargo has lifted, it's clear that those early reactions were more about access and optics than honest critique. Disney likely knew exactly what it was doing by keeping the review embargo tight. It was a calculated move to delay the inevitable flood of honest criticism until ticket sales were locked in. But with Snow White sitting at 49%, again, the updated version, 47%, That facade has crumbled. That is one of the scariest images ever right there. I don't know if it's like, are they trying to make Chucky one of the dwarves? I don't know. Is that the newest dwarf? Slow, dopey, sleepy, grumpy Chucky. Oh, the contrast going to be more stark. A handful of social media influencers declaring this film an instant classic versus seasoned critics pointing out its hollow storytelling and uninspired visuals and lack of creative spark. The question now is, will audiences buy what Disney is selling, or will they trust the reviews that finally tell the real story? Box office projections give us a strong hint that Rachel Zegler might actually prove the shills right and be a true supernova, the definition of which is the cataclysmic explosion of a star. Yes, Marvin points out that a supernova is, in fact, the cataclysmic explosion of a star. Yeah, Alfred E. Newman goes camping. That's another way of putting it. Yikes. I know, right? Is that one of the scariest things you've ever seen? And Go and Shogi, of course, says, makes sense. Star collapses under its own weight and throws a tantrum by way of explosion. Oh, my beautiful wife is in the house. Good morning. Late, but good morning. Speaking of that, it being a good morning, we have these gifties. We got to celebrate this, and then we're going to be moving on to Pro. Let's celebrate. Get your member emojis ready if you got them, and let's do this. Let's celebrate. All right, guys, thanks for being here. We're cutting the show a little bit short today because I want to get everybody sent over to WDW Pro because it is a big day. Financial earnings for the Walt Disney Company, which, by the way, no financial advice on this channel. We don't do that here. I'm just letting you know that that's what they are going to be covering. Again, without financial advice, just observation of what is going down. Thank you guys so much for being here today, for the gifties, for all of your support, and for a lot of new people coming in. Welcome. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that notification bell, because when you click it, you stick it to the YouTube algorithm. You get notified of all of our uploads here and Follow the Bradleys Fun. And until next time, we will see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Bye. Ciao. Bye.